Y'all know what? I started to name this series F Them Kids. But them kids get on my nerves. But I ain't want to hurt nobody's feelings. So I named it Adoption is Not for the Weak. Alright, so today's story is about number one. So wait, let me put this disclaimer out there about number one. So number one is 22 years old now with a baby. And what I can say about number one is he never disrespected me. He never backtalked me. Even to this day, he called me Mom Dukes. He still come to church every now and then, to the church that we go to. And every time he see me, he give me a hug. He always saying stuff to me on social media. And he got a totally different spirit from the rest of them. Okay, so let me say that about him. So he always been the type though, because when I got him, he was 3 years old. He was the oldest, and he was acting like he was day mama. Like he took care of the other two. Because like I said, for those who don't know, I adopted a sibling group of 5. When I first got him, they were 1, 2, and 3. He was a 3-year-old. And then in 2006, I got their sister from the hospital. She was 2 days old. Then in 2009, I got their other sister from the hospital. She was 2 days old. All right. So number 3, when he first came, so him being 3 years old, he already knew his mom and knew his home. You know what I'm saying? But he had a speech impediment. He could talk a little bit. You could understand him a little bit. Like instead of water, he would say warrior and stuff like that. He had a speech impediment and he stuttered a lot. But when he first came, the first day, he cried the whole time. Like I said, they brought him from triage. If you heard it in my previous videos, they brought him from triage at the hospital. And he cried the whole time. So, I gave him a bath. I fed him and, put him to bed. And he cried till about 2 o'clock in the morning. And he finally, went to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. But wait. When I woke up the next morning, when I tell you this boy was sitting in front of the refrigerator with the refrigerator door open with everything that was on the shelves on the floor, eating stuff in both of his hands in his mouth like he was an animal. I mean, it was shocking and heartbreaking at the same time. I just was like, well, maybe he ain't used to seeing this much food at once. Because when I tell you that boy was shoving that food in his mouth, he was shoving that food in his mouth. He even had bit the stick of butter. And that always puzzled me because, sometimes I would find sticks of butter behind the chairs and behind the couches where they be done ate butter. I was like, ugh. But anyway, yeah, so he was like the caretaker to them. He didn't want nobody to touch them. He didn't want nobody to holler at them. He didn't want nobody to discipline them at all. And he was only 3 years old. He thought he was their mama. He had been so used to taking care of them, the 2-year-old and the 1-year-old. I had to fight with him to be able to take care of all 3 of them. And but as he got older, he started warming up to us or whatever. Because like I said, I was married at the time to my ex-husband. And that's another story. But yeah, he was tripping. But he warmed up to us, and then he started doing, like, in his, 8, 9, and 10 years. When I tell you this boy done been expelled from school about 3 times. He stole my ex-husband watches, every watch he had. He had a case, 2 cases. One case full of Invicta watches and another case full of some other kind of watches. This boy used to steal everything. And even one time he stole my bracelet. But see, me and him had such a bond. He stole my bracelet. And I said, I know you stole my bracelet. Because couldn't nobody else have taken it. So I said, I'm going to leave and I'm going to come back. and I want my bracelet back in my jewelry box. I ain't gonna say nothing. You ain't gonna say nothing. Just put my stuff back. So I left for a couple hours running around doing my stuff I had to do. And when I came back, my stuff was in my jewelry box like it was before he took it. So yeah, I really didn't say nothing to him about that after then because, he put it back. But I had already known he taken it. So yeah, like I said, when you adopt these kids, they have issues. You have to be able to work with them and be able to love them through it all. So yeah, that's the story about number one. All right, so thank you for listening and tune in next time for more stories about adoption is not for the weak. See you next time.